So the worlds of DC films have actually been doing a pretty great renaissance over the couple of years. Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, and now we have a brand new film, Birds of Prey. There's Birds of Prey, and then there's another title, but it's too long to say, so I'm just going to call it Birds of Prey. A film I've actually been really interested in. The cast looked interesting, and with an R rating, DC trying something different to cap on the success of Marvel's R-rated properties. So how is it? Well, let's talk about it.
The only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
You fall in love.
He's after all of us. The kid just robbed him. You betrayed him. You killed his BFF.
So Birds of Prey, good, bad, bit of both. Yeah, I would say it's a bit of both. There's more good than bad in this film, but it's one of those movies that I felt, why fun? Why there was good elements in it? I felt a bit of a mixed bag with this film. But there's a lot of good. First of all, the cast. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. She feels like she's having fun with this role. She feels like she's having a good time with this role, and she feels like she's a fan of this character. In Suicide Squad, she was fine, but in this film, she really shined. She's fun, and in this film, they try to mark the balance of that she kills people, but yet you're supposed to root for her. So there's a scene where she goes into this facility that we see in the trailer, and instead of shooting bullets, she shoots confetti. And they try to balance that line, and sometimes it works, but sometimes you're just like, oh yeah, she's still a crazy psychopath that murders people. So should we really feel any sympathy for her? But I thought she was really good. The rest of the Birds of Prey themselves aren't really in this film that much. And that's not really a spoiler, because in the trailers, they're barely in there. That's why there's that Harley Quinn title. It should have been that Harley Quinn title and then Little Birds of Prey, because there's not much Birds of Prey in there. If you're going to this film with thinking, oh, I love the Birds of Prey as characters, you're going to be disappointed, because they're barely in this film at all. And I found that was kind of disappointing, because, and in a way it was disappointing, in a way it wasn't. To be honest, I could really care less about the Birds of Prey. I don't really know much about them. And in this film, I didn't really get attached to any of them. They just felt like weird high school students that were just kind of hanging out together and trying to be cool. It just felt really weird, and it felt forced the way the Birds of Prey actually do come together in the film. At the end of the film, when the credits rolls, like, that's how they're going to assemble the Birds of Prey, and that's how they're going to set up eventual sequel at the end. It really just felt forced and was like, okay, let's focus a lot on this Harley Quinn story with Black Mask, which we'll get to in a second. Oh, but wait, this film's actually called Birds of Prey. Let's just shoehorn in this Birds of Prey random origin. And also, I really think this film is very weird and quirky and a lot of fun. And sometimes that really does work. Like, we get really in depth in the beginning. We really kind of get in the mind of Harley Quinn, which I think is a cool idea. But sometimes she narrates so much in this film, it gets kind of annoying. And also, this film is kind of out of order a lot of the times. And why I thought that was a fun dynamic, I kind of wish this film was just kind of set. I wish this film was just in chronological order and just play out with some fun, quirky details. And sometimes she breaks the fourth wall, not like super much, but she does do a lot. Let's talk about Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. What a weird performance. First of all, what I didn't like about this character, kind of like Will Smith in the first Suicide Squad as Deadshot, he barely wears the mask. In fact, he only wears the mask for, I would say, about 3 minutes of the film. And he's really good in this film. He seems like he's having a lot of fun. But he doesn't really feel like Black Mask a lot. He just kind of feels like Ewan McGregor having a good time with Victor Zsasz and cutting people's faces off. That's kind of what it felt like. Because he didn't wear the mask that much, I was like, when he did finally wear the mask, I'm like, oh yes, this is supposed to be Black Mask, a famous Batman villain. And also, as I said, I don't know much about the Birds of Prey comic, but isn't Black Mask just a Batman villain? But overall, he's a really fun character, and I really did enjoy it. Victor Zsasz is also in this film. He's good. He's a bit weird, though. The performance ranges from really fun and entertaining to just strangely weird. It's not a horrible performance by any means, but it's really fun. The child actor in this film is fine. She does good of what she's done. I'm not so bold. at times. The editing's really good. It's way better than Suicide Squad's editing. It's actually consistent. It's actually consistent with the way they edit the film, which I thought that was really good. The direction here is fine. There's nothing amazing here. The editing, as I said, is good. This film is just a good movie. I think it's a really fun film that you can get behind and really enjoy. But if you're a super big fan of Birds of Prey, I think you'll be kind of disappointed in this film. Let's talk about what doesn't work. I've already talked about the rating. Sometimes it benefits the film, but sometimes it buries it to the ground. And sometimes this film, there's too much narration. Sometimes I would just like, okay, let's get to the story and let's stop having Harley Quinn narrate the entire film. And also, sometimes this film really drags. Sometimes it's not that long, but I thought the first act was really solid. I thought the second act was also really solid. And the third act, it has really good third acts, but sometimes there's just parts where it just doesn't work. And like Suicide Squad, there's some song choices that I just didn't found that worked. This film is a good movie. It's not terrible. It's a good film. Overall, I'm going to give Birds of Prey a B. A B for a basically average film. So those were my thoughts on Birds of Prey. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. If you guys like this video, you guys can hit that like button, subscribe. Really does help out this channel a ton. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.